Hey, what's going on, guys? Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to the channel. As a matter of fact, today's the 19th, isn't it? Well, shoot. Happy birthday to me. Well, I guess today is a milestone birthday for me. Dang. I should really keep better track of the days of the week, huh? Man. Well, you know what? My wife did go yesterday and pick me up a darn birthday cake. I wasn't paying attention. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, again, happy birthday to me. Shoot. You guys saw the thumbnail. You saw the title of the video. You know that it is another major wrestling figure podcast review video. And finally, the review videos are starting to wind down. For the last, 2 or 3 weeks, man, I have been going massively heavy in the review videos because with all of the companies that have been, releasing all of the figures simultaneously, plus all of the purchases I've been picking up off of eBay and Mercari, especially all the Grail pieces and Holy Grail items I've been picking up. Yeah, these reviews have been in such abundance over the last several weeks, and I've been kind of slowing down on my purchases, so the reviews are going to pretty much, start to slow down and pretty much go away in the next few days. I picked up a few items, but a lot of those are what I picked up are pre-orders, so not anything that should be coming in anytime soon. And the items that I have ordered, like I said, you're probably looking at a few items, like maybe Ringside Collectibles. You might get a item here or there, but you may be looking at it like maybe 1 or 2 reviews a week, as opposed to almost daily review videos. I've kind of realized that this is starting to be a review channel. Not just a wrestling channel or a collection channel, but almost strictly a review channel. I don't know if I like that. But I kind of, when you kind of go back and you look at, past content, and you look at like the real chat videos, and then you kind of compare it to, regular review videos. Regular real chat videos get like 50 views, and review videos, action figure review videos get maybe 200 views. So what people subscribe for, so you really can't complain. You got to put out the videos that people want to see, right? So anyways, today's review, as I said, the figures that we're going to look at today, not really new figures per se. They are basically re-releases or repaints of what we've already received from the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. And I don't like it, because right now I'm starting to feel like Major Bendies are starting to become the new Zombie Sailors toys. And you guys already know Zombie Sailors has really fallen out of favor with me, because all they do is re-release the exact same figures over and over and over and over again. And all they do is repaint the figures. They don't even change the fighting pose, create new molds, repaint with the characters, release the same characters with different, fighting stances or anything like that. It's just the same exact figure, repainted over and over again. Slick 10,000 times. Matt Cardona several times over. New Jack Tunney. Like, why do you need a new Jack Tunney, for example? Nick Gage, etc. It's increasingly frustrating to get the same figures. I am a completionist, right? So, as a collector, I want to have the whole collection. I've said it before, I don't even know if I'm even considering myself a fan of the company anymore. But I want to have the whole collections. I've started from the beginning, and I want to end. So, and now I'm kind of looking at the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast, and I'm kind of seeing areas where they're kind of doing the exact same thing. They're basically releasing the same figures over and over again, and I'm not liking it. I don't want to see the big rubber guys turn into zombie sailors. I don't want to start hating the business because they keep releasing the same figures over and over again. And what am I talking about? Ric Flair. Ric Flair is a fantastic character. Obviously, from childhood, Ric Flair is one of those characters you absolutely despised. But in all honesty, how many times can you possibly release Ric Flair before it becomes... Yeah, I don't like that this stupid belt keeps popping out of this card. Before it becomes overly redundant. Here's the thing. Back in Series 3, when Major Bendy's came out with the suited Ric Flair, this was an awesome figure, okay? This was a spectacular figure. You know, having the clothed Ric Flair, it gave you a different perspective, a whole new character, a whole new figure, different than what you normally get with the action figures. And this was spectacular. So unique, so different. I loved it. When did that come out? Like 2023, I think, with that Ric Flair figure. So, when you got that Ric Flair, perfect. Series 3, 2023, I think. If they waited to 2027, 2028, 2030, whatever, and it's now Series 25, Series 27, Series 30 of Big Rubber Guys, and they want to re-release Ric Flair again in ring gear, in fighting gear, with trunks, like so. Perfect. I am all for that. That is spectacular. You got that Ric Flair, you know, manager style, podcast style Ric Flair with clothing. Great. Awesome. Perfect Ric Flair for Series 3. You want to come back in Series 20 and release a new Ric Flair, Series 25, like so? Perfect. I will totally support a re-release of Ric Flair so-and-so later. But when you keep coming out with the exact same figure over and over again, that is what's frustrating me. And I know some guys, some folks who are tuning in to watch this review, you know, hoping to hear some really, you know, positive reviews, and you're just simply not going to get it in this video. I'm sorry, it's not going to be an overly dramatic, you know, heartwarming and loving review video. And don't get me wrong, I've made 10,000 Big Rubber Guy review videos, and I always give a huge shout out to the Big Rubber Guys. I mean, as far as Big Rubber Guys goes, they're probably, I don't know, top 5, 6, 7, I don't know, of my favorite lines to collect. Well, you think, okay, 6 or 7. I mean, that's not very good. I mean, look at this room. I mean, there's like 20,000 collections in this room. So, I mean, being in the top 10 is like astronomically high. So, I love collecting the major wrestling figure podcast, you know, figures. So, the Big Rubber Guys, they're awesome pieces. You know, I recommend them all the time. But when they're coming out with new characters, new figures, that's what I crave. That's what I covet. But when you keep releasing the same figures over and over again, and I was actually kind of pulling all of these figures off the shelf because I wanted to kind of look at all of the different Ric Flairs that they've come out with. I was actually surprised to find out that they actually made far less than I actually thought. I actually thought they had come out with a bloody and a regular non-bloody Ric Flair, but I actually own all of the variants, and there was no non-bloody Flair. And I was like, wait a minute. I could have sworn very vividly remember there being a plain purple trunks Ric Flair. But I don't own a plain purple trunk, so maybe I'm wrong. Well, I got to be wrong, right? So, no. Just a bloody Ric Flair. I'm like, okay. Sure enough. But still, I mean, you got your suited Ric Flair. You could have stopped with a bloody Ric Flair, but no. Then you had to come out with the bloody version. Stop right there. You come out with the red Ric Flair. Why? You didn't need another Ric Flair. You already had two. Do you honestly need a fourth Ric Flair? Like I said, space your figures out. The fact that these figures were being released simultaneously, so close together, that is what's killing. And it's not just like, it's not just me as a fan or one consumer. It's not, you're driving me nuts. You could look at it, well, you don't speak for everybody. But in all honesty, I mean, I read the comments, I respond to all my viewers, all my commenters, right? And based on the comments that I receive, a lot of people agree with what I say. So even though I don't speak for absolutely everyone in the world, a lot of people agree with what I say. And what they say is and they agree with what I'm talking about. And the fact is, you're going to lose a lot of business, a lot of your loyalists. You're not selling $5, $10 figures. I mean, these are not $150 figures, right? So it's not like you're breaking the bank by buying these. But come on, at $50 a pop, they're still pricey figures. They still cost a pretty penny. And you're still kind of, in essence, kind of screwing over your fan base. Like myself, I talk about being a completionist, right? So I have OCD, and my mindset won't allow me to not buy the figure. It really is a mental problem, because I'm gonna look at that, I'm gonna be like, mentally, I can't not complete that collection, because it's like people with OCD. It's like if you open the door and you gotta like sit there and you gotta like open and close the door 10 times before you open the door to like answer the door, or if you're going into a drawer to get yourself a spoon for your bowl of cereal and you gotta sit there and you gotta open and close the door 10 times before you get the spoon out, type of deal. It's a mental issue. You gotta do that type of stuff. So I have like all of these different triggers, right? And this is just like one of those type of things. And I got I got like a million different triggers, but that's one of those things that I have to do. I don't know if this was like pre-military thing or this was something that happened after military-wise, but yeah, it definitely, I would definitely say it definitely grew after military service, but kind of looking at this, it's a spectacular figure though. This is a perfect figure. And I don't want to hate on this because it is fantastic. And for those fans of 1990 Series 1 WCW Galoob, it is a perfect resemblance to that action figure. Okay? So, if you want to make that comparison, it is an awesome piece. And it does actually come, make sure I got it the right way, with the big gold belt. NWA slash, WCW Big Gold Championship belt, which is a perfect, beautiful championship belt. With this hovering around, probably going to take me to about 20 minutes to just talking about the Ric Flair figure. I might just make this a one figure video and save Dusty for video 2. You know what? I'll show Dusty. I won't spend a lot of time talking about Dusty because pretty much the same issues I have with Ric Flair, you could pretty much throw it at Dusty Rhodes as well. But I'll just show off the figure. Dusty Rhodes is figure number 2. So this is Dusty Rhodes, and this is the 1 of 800. You see, when you look at the back of the card, I mean, they don't even upgrade the card or anything like that. So this is the original Series 6. Was that Series 6? So Series 5. Yeah, Series 6. With Jim Duggan. Actually, no, he was Series 7. Yeah, because Jim Duggan and had 2 figures, and then Magnum TA. So Series 6 was Hacksaw and Magnum TA, and then Series 7 was Dusty Rhodes and Powers of Pain. So it was these 3 figures. So he was a Series 7 figure. So this was the original Dusty Rhodes from Series 7, right? In red. And all they did was give you a yellow Dusty Rhodes. Now, the red Dusty Rhodes, 1,000 times better. I mean, obviously, better color. But literally the exact same figure. Same birthmarks, same trunks. They changed the green on the elbow pads just to just one jet black. But the original Series 7 it wasn't necessary. Dusty Rhodes repaint. No. Yeah, not really anything to say about Dusty Rhodes on that one. I mean, like I said, 1 of 800. I bought it, bought a couple. Obviously, one for the loose collection, one for the MOC collection. When you see that number, 1 of 800, you kind of feel like you want to have it because you see what these figures sell for on eBay. You see what the original Demolition selling for, $450 for the pair, for the original Series 2 pair. And I'm like, insane, right? So you want to get these figures because you know that there's value. All of these figures are going to have value. And just like the LJNs have value, all of these big rubber guys hold value. I could skip on picking these guys up. Ric Flair. Do you need 10,000 different variations? Probably not. Chances are, if you miss out on it, or you can buy it, have it for your collection, great. In the future, hold on to it. In a few months, if you want to sell it, you could put it up on auction. Somebody is going to bid on this, and you could probably end up getting 2, 3, 4 times what you paid for it. If I had extras, I mean, would I sit there and try and, break the bank in getting all the money in the world for it? No. Like I always tell people, if I have extras, like that incident that happened before with the Bloody Ric Flairs, where I kind of hit that back button, and when I went back in to purchase the item, it kind of duplicated on me. So instead of getting the 2 figures for my collection, I ended up getting 4 of them, and I didn't realize I paid too much on it. So when I got my order, I got 4 figures. I'm like, hey, you know, when the guys reached out to me, just cover what I paid for it, and they're yours. I wasn't trying to worry about breaking the bank. So I want to make sure I get these figures for the collection. I want to make sure that I have them, because if I miss out on them, what's going to happen if I don't have them, and then later on I regret it, and then I have to go on eBay or Mercari and try and buy them, and you're paying $400 for something you could have gotten for $50, you know? So I don't want to miss my opportunity. So that is another reason I have to go out and try to purchase these figures. But I just want to reach out to MC and be like, look, buddy, stop it. For the love of God, please stop. When I talked to Ahmad over at Latuni, and I see that he too was creating a Ric Flair. When I first saw that he was creating Ric Flair, my first thought was, oh God, buddy, no. I'm like, dude, we don't need another Ric Flair, please stop. But then I saw the Ric Flair that he came out with, and I'm like, okay, I can work with this. Just like that suited Ric Flair that we got from Big Rubber Guys, it was different. It's unique. That is an awesome piece. That suited Ric Flair from Big Rubber Guys was awesome. The one that we're getting from Latuni was awesome. This would have been a spectacular figure if it had come out several series later, but the fact that you just keep releasing this same piece, just changing the color scheme, it's overkill. Adding the belt was special, but like I said, wait. This review video has gone on way too long, a lot longer than I wanted it to. I am going to end this video here, guys. Where are we at? 22 minutes? Oh, that's fine. I thought we were at like 30 minutes. Oh, God. Once again, you can't put the big belt or the gold belt on the Dusty Rhodes, which kind of sucks. I kind of wanted to transfer the belt, but he's a little too husky, so you can't wrap it around his waist. The 2 newest figures from Big Rubber Guys, do I recommend? Only because, like I said, these guys are going to cost a fortune on eBay later on. But if you are not like me and you don't have OCD and you just want to get the best figure for your collection or your favorite piece, go for the one that speaks to you the best. I would say go for the blue because he comes with the belt, and maybe because he's like WCW Galoob color scheme. That's nice. So belt is probably the one that's best, and I would go with the one with the red because better color. But that's it for this video, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching, and talk to you in the comments. See you in the next video. Take care, everybody.